Welcome back to more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Last time we got through the Boomerang Cup, so this time we're starting Wave 5. First up, I want to play as Daisy, using our standard kart configuration. Next up is the Feather Cup. We're kicking off Wave 5 with Athens Dash from Mario Kart Tour, which is a very interesting course for me personally. Again, I started playing Mario Kart Tour in preparation for these courses being added into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure I never actually played this course in Mario Kart Tour in any form. On one hand, it's exciting having a brand new course. On the other hand, the city courses in 8 Deluxe are very overwhelming with the constantly shifting laps. So I definitely had a lot of trouble with this course when I first started playing it. We want to go around this little fountain here, and we'll jump off this little ramp into this amphitheater that we'll drift through. Speaking of drifting, as of the latest patch at the time of this recording, drifting actually works a little bit differently. It's actually a little bit looser than it was before. So if you're having trouble drifting all of a sudden, that may be why. It's not known if it's a bug or an intentional change, but it's not listed in the patch notes, so it's believed to be a glitch at the moment. We'll see if they fix it, potentially by the time this video is even out. This jump here threw me off so many times on my first times through this course. I would constantly fall there, and to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why, given that it's essentially a straight shot. In general, I actually do like this course a lot. It's a lot more off-road than a lot of the other city courses so far, so it definitely has a unique flair. But obviously, it's not perfect. Again, like a lot of the tour tracks, I do feel like lap 2 is disproportionately short compared to lap 1 and lap 3, and there's another problem that is recurring with all of the DLC courses, which are the visuals. For example, right here, the buildings feel very low res compared to everything else in this course. This is pretty much the worst time to have something like that happen, given that we're entering the final lap, and we really don't have much of a buffer in case something else goes wrong. I also like how the later courses are incorporating the half-pipe ramps from Mario Kart Wii. Again, I kind of wish they'd retroactively add them into some of the other courses as well, because I'm pretty sure they're missing from some of the earlier Wii courses, like maybe Coconut Mall, if I'm remembering correctly. But again, Mario Kart Wii is not a game I have a ton of familiarity with, so I may be misremembering on that. But with that, that went pretty smoothly. We didn't even have a blue shell to worry about. We have to dodge the columns though, which definitely also threw me off. On my first playthroughs of the stage, I crashed quite a bit and lost a lot of time, but overall, that went really well. Next up is Daisy Cruiser from Mario Kart Double Dash, a fan-favorite course that honestly looks fantastic. Again, Double Dash was one of my first Mario Kart games, so I have a lot of nostalgia for all of the Double Dash courses, and this honestly looks amazing. This is not the first time it's come back though. I think its first retro appearance would have been Mario Kart 7, and as a result, the version in this game is actually based on the Tour version, which is based on the 7 version. For example, we have 2 routes at the starting line, and we also have a route through the pool, unlike in the original. I'm pretty sure in one of the handheld versions, either 2 or 7, the tables and item boxes didn't actually move properly, so that is the case in this version of the course, thankfully, and the little lower deck shortcut there is now underwater, which is also a nice touch. For the sake of variety, we'll take the left path this time. I also really love the music. Double Dash music is so nostalgic to me. Double Dash isn't even my favorite Mario Kart, but even then, I feel like every time I remember how much I used to play Double Dash, it definitely takes me back to my childhood. It's kind of odd because Double Dash controls so differently in terms of the overall physics compared to any other Mario Kart game, so it definitely feels hard to go back to. Like, going from this game to Double Dash is like night and day in terms of how slippery everything feels. Again, I feel like Double Dash, because of the way drifting works, is very hard to control if you're not used to it. But it's just got such a unique identity to it with the two-character system. And the music is so iconic in a lot of cases, and so many tracks are just fan favorites and iconic that I kind of wish we were getting more GameCube tracks, to be honest. I kind of wish we had more tracks in general. Like, if they just did a second booster course pass, I wouldn't even be opposed. Also, seeing the cruise ship in high definition also makes me want to replay the Origami King, oddly enough, because of the cruise ship in that game. But then I remember certain parts of that game, and then I lose interest. That game is such a weird mixed bag of really good elements, and also some very frustrating parts. But again, I still defend Origami King more than a lot of the Paper Mario fanbase. But overall, that was a very smooth run of Daisy Cruiser. Our third course for this cup is Moonview Highway from Mario Kart Wii, a very recent addition to Mario Kart Tour. Honestly, compared to Double Dash, I feel like I don't have much nostalgia for Mario Kart Wii, and I've talked about this before, but in addition to that, I also feel like these courses are just kind of cursed for me. Like, the first time I played this, I got 7th place, so let's hope it goes a little bit better than that. We actually have the cars from Toad's Turnpike, but we also have the bomb cars from both Double Dash and Mario Kart Wii. The Wii was very similar in terms of overall architecture to the GameCube, so it makes sense that a lot of assets were actually reused between the two games. Frankly, this course looks phenomenal with all the lighting effects for all the neon signs in the background. Also, a lot of the artwork has also been updated to more modern versions of the characters, so overall, even though this isn't one of my favorites, I definitely still like this course a lot, and I also get why people wanted it in this game so badly. It also threw a little bit of a curveball though, because basically a lot of track IDs had been data mined, so we thought we were only getting a certain amount of Wii courses, and this threw a wrench in everyone's predictions, because this means we might not be getting we might be getting more Wii courses than we expected originally. If everything works out as I hope, because there's a specific Wii course that I'm really hoping is in Wave 6. And I'd gladly sacrifice something like Mushroom Bridge, which is in Tour by the way, for Moonview Highway, because I do think this is a more interesting course if we had to have something with this instead. Of the three, counting Mushroom City also, I actually would have preferred that, because that's a very convoluted course, but I don't think that's actually in Tour yet. And to be honest, I don't want to think about playing through Mushroom City with either tilt controls or touch controls. I feel like that would be a nightmare with Tour's control setups, and would either have to be simplified, or like just completely changed up. Like some of the Game Boy Advance courses are very different fundamentally, but again, I'll have more to say about that in the future. That actually was a very smooth run, again, given how cursed my first run-through of this stage was. Again, it's partly just because I don't really remember the Wii courses very well. Finally, we have Squeaky Clean Sprint debuting in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, this will be added to Tour at a later time, like the Yoshi's Island course and a few others, but is making its first appearance here. This course has a surprising amount of history for a brand new course to the series. The reason is, I follow data mining, possibly to a fault for games, and so bathroom-related background assets were actually data mined a very, very long time ago for Mario Kart Tour. It was always funny reading all the speculation about, like, are they really doing a course that's literally just a bathroom? And yeah, they did, and honestly, it's fantastic. Frankly, a lot of the debuting first courses are actually phenomenal. Like, Yoshi's Island is literally one of my favorite courses in this game. And Squeaky Plane Sprint is also a very strong contender for one of the better courses. It is very creative in terms of how you actually get around it, with how the different bathroom elements play a role in the actual stage layout, like the fan pushing you, and we'll see another example of that in a bit. You can also drive behind the sink. I'm not going to take my chances because Peach is right on my tail, and I don't want to take too many risks and mess up at the very last race of this particular course. Again, sometimes the AI feels very inconsistent, sometimes it feels like they're right on your tail the entire time, other times they'll be way behind and not pose a threat whatsoever. It all feels very inconsistent, but like right now, if I get hit by a blue shell, it's all over. And luckily, there is a blue shell right now, so hopefully we'll have enough time to regain first by the end of this race, assuming there's not a second blue shell later on. Now the toilet is acting up, so we can actually use it, as gross as it sounds, to propel ourselves up to the upper shelf here. Up here, we'll also be able to access another area using this glide ramp to this little area over here, this little shelf. It's such a good course. I kind of wish the shortcut was actually available the entire time though, instead of just during lap 2 essentially. Obviously you can use the toilet shortcut on lap 3 as well, but it doesn't do as much good because you can't actually reach the upper ledge except for lap 3. And going through the drain like this is also very clever, using like a current to push you along. And yeah, in general, this feels like one of the most like environmentally active courses in terms of like various environmental interactions between you and the course itself. And again, it's just very creative. Also, the music is very jazzy for a bathroom. Also, I feel like the course looks pretty good too. Luckily, we have a super horn this time, so we'll be good to go here, and we'll be able to secure first once again in all of the races. I was kind of worried about how some of these courses would go, especially the ones I didn't know as well, but overall, that was a very smooth run of this cup. This is an extremely random thought, but I wonder what determines which course to actually pick for these replays. Again, I can't believe it's taking me all this time to actually think about this. But yeah, it does make me wonder why they pick specific courses and not others. But either way, we got first and everything, so that was a clean sweep of this cup. Overall, I think the Feather Cup is a lot of fun. Again, you have two fan-favorite tracks from fairly underrepresented games in the DLC so far, actually. Especially Double Dash so far. And the tour course is pretty alright, and the new course is also a lot of fun. So overall, I do think this is one of the more consistent cups, even though I don't think it reaches the high highs that we've seen in some of the others. But either way, we'll finish off this wave next time. I actually don't remember which cup it is, but I guess we'll find out then. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.